Hi there. This is the channel called Life Lessons, My Stories by Dee. My real name is Deanna McCoy. I go by Dee just because I keep being called everything but Deanna. Diana, Dina, Dana, Deanne, pick it. So I just go by Dee, and that is just fine for me. So I was thinking about some of life experiences that suddenly became like a big reality check after 60. I'm 63 now, and I've been through so much, maybe not severe situations that some may have gone through, but man, I have been through so many life lessons pertaining to my parents and siblings. It goes back to their history as well. My husband and I, two boys. He has two children from a previous marriage, and we've been through a lot together there as well. And I've written so many things in journaling, especially crises, when I just let it all out onto paper, just regurgitated all of this really hateful kinds of words that were just, man, if you read them, you just cry. Well, of course, I cried a lot when I was going through a lot of those life lessons. And I thought at the time, man, I just learned so much. And I'm going to keep on going because I learned a lot from that really bad situation. And like they say, you go through something that's not so good, you come out having really gained from that. Well, maybe I did, but I kept doing the same dumb things over and over again. My reactions and my behaviors that even precipitated a lot of the the worst kinds of scenarios that came down the line. I needed to go through those to become a better human and to be able to give back to others as well. So I'm a nurse, FYI. I was a nurse. Well, I still am. I just don't practice anymore. I retired last year. I've been 30 years a nurse. So I have this really soft heart that just wants to take on everything and absorb everything. I was always a fixer between my parents, or trying to fix everything with them. I thought I was fixing everything with me. You know what? After 60, my husband has the saying, well, we're over 60. Don't have to worry about that anymore. It's like, oh man, seriously? But why am I still feeling all of these feelings? And I just don't know what happened. Maybe it's hearing him say that over and over. Maybe it's just the post-retirement, able to just let go and be still and relax and think about some of these things and move on, that I have found such a peace. So I want to share the stories that molded me, molded my husband and my relationship, perhaps molded our children. And some of the difficult times that I went through, even stories from my mom. She was a World War II victim, an Austrian. She married my dad in Scotland. There's another story for you. And they moved to Kansas, the state where I was born, and big life changes there. And some of her stories are heart-wrenching. And I, with my sensitive heart, she was a nurse also, that we just connected, with that type of sensitivity. So I held all of her agony in me. I still feel it. For always, I will feel it. So there's so much to share. I do hope that in sharing these stories, some of the things that I wish I knew, that I learned from those life experiences, that they bring meaning to you. I don't want to be your fixer. I don't want to your counselor. I just want to share what I've learned, and hopefully you find some enrichment from the stories that I will share with you and some of the reality lessons that I learned along the way, and some of those big light bulbs that went on after 60 that I hope will be meaningful to you. I do want you to comment. I cannot answer all comments. I want you to know that that nursey part of me will just want to absorb everything. If I don't respond to you in person, like, or personally, I should say, don't be offended. Please don't be offended. It might be too much for me. I don't want to become a victim again. I really don't want to be re-victimized, and I tend to do that. It's kind of a codependent personality that I have. So please share. I want to know that there is something that's coming from this. Also, I'm doing this so that my children and my grandchildren all can have some recounting of history. They've experienced a lot. The two boys with my husband and I, they've experienced a lot, and they will reflect on some of the things that I will share. I will get permissions, of course, to share anything that may be personal to some that are still with us. My parents are deceased. My eldest sister is deceased, and I do have my brother. And my husband has a lot of family in Minnesota, so I don't want to hurt anybody with the stories that will be told. So I'll be very cautious. So if there's some details that I shouldn't say, I won't say them. Okay, I came up with this long list. It's a list and a half. I started out thinking about, okay, what kind of things really molded me? The first thing, you know what came up? Wicked Sister. Yeah, that was real. That, ooh, that was rough, okay, because that was from childhood. And she just died last year, so I can be candid. And her family is overseas, and I have no connection with them. So I won't be hurtful in the way I talk about a person. That's just not right. So exes, moved as a child, and moved our family with teenage boys. Um, Depression, drinking, conflict at work, real world stuff. Okay, there's lots of stories of conflict, and I'm sure that so many of you can relate because we're all human. So I will leave out now with just that little intro, and I'm going to start with Wicked Sister here, the next showing. Okay, so I look forward to engaging with you and sharing my life, our life, my husband and mine, my childhood, my kids, grandkids. And okay, let's just do it later.